Oh, he is. Yeah, he is talking about me here. Yeah, this is his like main. This is his main gripe. He thinks I'm not like writing the Democrats, not understanding that like I'm not in the business of writing Democrats. Why the fuck would I write the Democrats? He's literally saying he wants to be a Charlie Kirk for the Democratic Party in a piece about how Charlie Kirk is a charlatan. How Democratic streamers like Destiny are taking on MAGA and Charlie Kirk. Donie O'Sullivan, friend of the show, did a piece on the debate sphere, I guess.
Yeah, I just got escorted from Kirk, baby.
We're in Tampa, Florida for Turning Point USA's annual Student Action Summit. TPUSA is a voter-driving juggernaut for the Republican Party, led by 31-year-old Charlie Kirk.
They're happy. That's why, you know, they haven't been on social media.
But this year's event will be menaced by something called the Un-F America Tour, started by a group of progressive influencers and organizers, including the massively popular streamer Destiny.
This is the all roads lead to Rome thing, right? So he can do the exact same behavior you said that Biden couldn't get away with doing.
They want to bring progressive debate to Kirk's doorstep. But first, they have to get in.
So Turning Point has cancelled all of Un-F America's credentials.
You know what's funny? I'm debating Charlie Kirk at Dartmouth University next month.
Now they're trying to sneak in Destiny so he can debate inside here.
I like that these guys are like, this is our weapon. This is our secret weapon. If only Destiny will just like engage in spirited debate against Charlie Kirk. If only we can do this. If we can unleash what is he going to do? Charlie Kirk and film it? Like, what do you mean? If only we can get compromising footage of Destiny sucking Charlie Kirk's and filming himself in the process, then we can just destroy this. We can destroy this whole charade. Yeah, he's gonna do a revenge on Charlie Kirk.
All right, he's in. So Destiny has made it inside the building, and we'll see how long he lasts.
Because the shots are going this way?
There's a major streamer named Destiny, who's a Democratic liberal streamer. He appears to be debating Myron Gaines.
God, these debate clowns act like getting a center right neoliberal in a debate is equivalent to sneaking a dragon slayer into the den of the beast. I know. Ugh. Yeah, he's gonna agree with Charlie Kirk that the left is actually responsible for Kamala losing, and also that he's gonna agree with Charlie Kirk on the Israel stuff. He's also gonna agree with Charlie Kirk on like 20% to 30% of Trump's deportation policies.
Who's more of a right-wing red pill guy. They're both sort of creatures of like internet trolldom, but it should be a lot of fun. You know, it's like blood sports. It's like watching a cockfight, effectively.
We love to see it, though.
We love to see it.
Oh,
it's
God.
Great.
Oh, gross. Oh, my. He's going to agree with them on white people being able to say the N-word.
We are at Student Action Summit. We got Destiny and Myron here today. Have a little friendly conversation.
Oh, yeah, man. Good to see you, bro.
Okay.
Young people may be tuning out the news, but this new form of live, provocative political debate is blowing up online. Its cultural significance is something well known to Kirk because he's part of it.
Oh, it's democratic socialism. It's completely different.
This question. I love this question.
And
I can talk about socialism for hours.
Hello, everyone. I am Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, and I am surrounded by 20 woke college kids.
Under a tent with the words, "Prove me wrong," Kirk brought online debater culture directly to hundreds of college campuses during the last election cycle.
We have a problem in Black America. The biggest problem is not racism, it's the lack of dads.
He's like, the biggest problem is not racism because obviously I'm racist. So that would be like admitting that, you know, my kind of thinking is what's wrong, what's like held Black America back. He just stole Steven Crowder's whole flow. No, I know.
When exactly do heart waves begin in utero?
You know that, but you don't know the form.
Hold on, no, so tell me when heartbeat.
I don't know.
And while he uses it to make viral content, its primary goal is to register Gen Z to vote MAGA.
I love the fact
this kind of stuff is so fucking rudderless, okay? It's just, if you're doing blood sport for the sake of blood sport, like Charlie has a clear agenda, okay? His goal is to promote right-wing talking points. His goal is to make the left look weak and humiliate liberals and the left alike so he can make people agree with his worldview. He can make his worldview look stronger in comparison. If the inverse of that on the opposing front are rudderless neoliberals who constantly find themselves catering to the white nativist talking points in an effort to, I guess, like secure a larger crowd, then you're not really debating this person. You're just waiting out the time until you agree with him, maybe 3 years down the line. But at that point, he will have moved past the advocacy, just like what Kamala Harris did with Donald Trump. We all laugh at this, but all these freaks were having closed-door meetings with heads of government, including head of ICE, that fucking pay to expand all facilities into alligator Alcatraz type places. I have proof if you want to chat about it. No, I know. These guys are like actively in government as well. Under no circumstance do you agree with these motherfuckers unless they are agreeing with you, okay? And even if they're agreeing with you, it's important to just be like, wait a minute. Why is there agreement here? What's going on here, you know?
Like that. We are now becoming we're becoming the cool kids now.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong with talking.
Well, that's what we're doing here today. It's an open mic.
I think that you push a danger.
Is Destiny gaining popularity? I would have thought that he was falling off since the Sex Pest stuff. Admittedly, I don't follow him. I don't think so. I mean, I think like these kinds of hits are not that consequential. And I know this from my own personal experience. I think that like getting mainstream, it's a blip. I don't know why Donnie's platforming him, to be honest. I mean, because he's there, and the reality of the matter is like Donnie literally covers some of the most insane freaks online. He covers every single person.
Agenda.
It's a strategy that those behind UNF America say the DNC has been absent to counter.
I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded.
At an event organized by the UNF America crew down the street from the convention center, both conservatives and liberals packed into a pub to eat chicken wings, drink beer, and watch conservative voices try to take on Destiny.
Have you ever fired an AR-15?
Yeah.
So you fired a 5.56. The mathematical odds of him surviving that are infinitesimally small.
They're infinitesimally high if it misses him, or grazes his ear. I mean,
Charlie Kirk's been doing this a long time, more than 10 years. Why has it taken the left so long to catch up and still hasn't caught up?
Republicans vertically are very well integrated when it comes to making sure that they're winning elections.
Yeah.
Right? There's the people who in 2020 they thought the election was stolen in every state basically. Yeah. But they still showed up to vote next time. So something is happening there where they're really big on going out and winning elections. And I think that shows at every single level, to where when people are organizing or when people are creating alternative media networks, whether you're talking Tim Pool, influencing other ones like Joe Rogan.
Why is Donie having Mini Epstein on a show? He probably has no fucking idea that this is an active sex pest, to be fair. Are they going to cover sex scandals? I doubt it.
Or trying to do things with college kids like Charlie Kirk. They're making these events and they're gathering all these different people. For Charlie Kirk, it's school kids, but the single focus is winning elections. It's incredibly important. And somehow I feel like on the left, I don't know how this happened online. Maybe it's because we tend to be younger or whatever, but somehow the party's messaging apparatus, it feels like it's gotten hijacked from people by people who won't vote for your candidates, which I think is incredibly destructive.
Did the Democrats have anything like this?
Nothing. And I will say, like, Charlie Kirk is honestly one of the best organizers of our generation. And I think that, you know, as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I believe that what he's doing has worked. And that's why I'm here to replicate what he's doing. I'm not here to, you know, disrupt Charlie Kirk's events. I'm here to say that there are alternative ideas and that we need to build the same thing that he has, because he is good at it.
Z. Cohen Sanchez.
If this is the America tour Shonda Black covered this months ago when they were under heat for being racist, they replaced Dean and Harry Hasan with Destiny. Z, the other organizers, a fucking scammer, Lamau. Wait, really? I don't have a lot of confidence in a lot of the people in like the debate sphere.
It's because we tend to be younger or whatever, but somehow the party's messaging apparatus, it feels like it's gotten hijacked from people by people who won't vote for your candidates, which I think is...
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is talking about me here. Yeah. This is his like this is his main gripe. He thinks I'm not like writing the Democrats, not understanding that like I'm not in the business of writing Democrats. Why the fuck would I write the Democrats? He's literally saying he wants to be a Charlie Kirk for the Democratic Party in a piece about how Charlie Kirk is a charlatan. He is a masquerading suit that is a fleshlight for Republican messaging. That's the whole point. That's not what I want to do. Yeah, he's literally saying we don't need better candidates, we need better voters. The reality is that that is a message that I think media executives will entertain, though, because that is precisely the kind of message that they want to put out there. If they want to continue losing, or maybe every now and then marginally securing victories, then great. I'm not in the business of that. I don't care. What Charlie Kirk is doing doesn't actually work. It works because there's endless sums of money being thrown at it by billionaires to spread propaganda. It's not just that Charlie Kirk is such a genius. That's part of it. The vertical integration that he also mentioned is something that I talk about quite frequently, which is that the propaganda apparatus on the Republican side is directionally aligned, and therefore all of the independent outlets that are supposedly independent are being funded by the same backers that fund the Republican Party and also Fox News. And therefore, Charlie Kirk can go in and out of mainstream circles to gain significant more prominence in times of need. He can also consistently farm donations from wealthy Republican donors. Charlie goes on Fox and Friends. He goes on all of the Fox News, all of the different programs on Fox News. Same with all of these other guys, like even the PragerU guys. Even no-name PragerU guys, they get mainstream opportunities with regular frequency, whereas there is no equivalent on the independent left media side. There's not even equivalences on the independent liberal media side. Like Brian Tyler Cohen, Midas Touch, Harry Hasan. These guys are not like regularly being uplifted by CNN or MSNBC. No matter how big of a freak you are, if you are an independent content creator that is right-wing, you will get elevated by the Republican media ecosystem. Okay? The unfuck America thing is so fucked because the Dems on the team are just right-wing libs who are also TERFs. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about like the unfuck America tour. I am so out of touch with whatever the fuck that is. And I know that like TikTok debates are what pops off, especially for an entire generation of people who want to consume political content. I think that it is ultimately unproductive, especially if you are rudderless, especially if you have no like ideological backing, if your politics are not guided by empathy, if you're not predisposed with policy, and you would rather defend the party. I do not care about defending the party. I care about defending good policies, no matter who is the person, no matter who is saying the actual good policies, who's defending the actual good policies. Ultimately, a lot of these people are, like in the case of Destiny, if he wasn't so purely spite driven, I think he could continuously be a debate mercenary that sees a tremendous amount of success. But I think because of his like overwhelming amount of spite for like everyone he thinks him over in his career and like kept him down, which is ironic because he should look in the mirror. That's the only motherfucker who's like himself over. If he didn't do all of that stuff, all that snarky, then he probably could be like a decent debate mercenary. But even then, he would be just like another Harry Hasan type, right? Only defending, and this is before we talk about him being an active sex pest and defending like white people saying the N-word, Kyle Rittenhouse, like numerous other unconscionable things. Racist and sex pest, and you think he's good at debating? No, I'm saying that a lot of these people are fucking cynical. A lot of these people that would prop up any media personality would cynically prop him up, but he gets in his own way by being a fucking horrible monster. Yeah, demanding that white supremacists mow down BLM protesters because it might hurt the chances of the Democrats winning the election. There's a lot of blame to put on the Democrats pushing out influencers who are left-leaning, though. No, I mean, the Democrats are always going to actively push aside leftist influencers because the Democrats don't actually want to influence people. The Democrats don't actually want to make change. That's the unfortunate problem. That's why I say, no matter how independent or how far right, even Nick Fuentes has very little daylight between himself and Donald fucking Trump in especially their domestic policy, right? Like there is less daylight between Nick Fuentes and Donald Trump than there is between like me and Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders is never becoming president. Bernie Sanders' voice is not a prominent one within the power structure of the Democratic Party. Unfortunately, do you understand? It would be akin to Bernie winning the presidency, and Bernie has no chance within the power structure of the Democratic Party to win the presidency. They don't like Bernie Sanders' worldview. They actively attacked him and undermined him. The Democrats were more scared openly about Bernie Sanders winning the primaries than Donald Trump winning the presidency. I still remember the CEO of Goldman Sachs writing an article about it. For that reason, until the Democratic Party changes and actually becomes an active fighting party, a party that actually cares about its citizens, a party that actually cares about its voters, a party that is actually predisposed with like improving people's lives, a party that wants to advocate for good policies that do genuinely improve people's lives, and not just like the status quo party that is marginally better than the increasingly worse Republican Party, there's not going to be this kind of cohesive media push from independent circles. And at most, they'll just push for like Midas touch to be dominant in the media landscape.
Did the Democrats have anything like this?
Nothing. And I will say, like, Charlie Kirk is honestly one of the best organizers of our generation. And I think that, you know, as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I believe that what he's doing has worked. And that's why I'm here to replicate what he's doing. I'm not here to, you know, disrupt Charlie Kirk's events. I'm here to say that there are alternative ideas and that we need to build the same thing that he has, because he is good at it.
Z. Cohen Sanchez has worked more than a decade on Democratic campaigns.
There's no reason why we can't do this. This is not very expensive to do. We have so many PACs on the Democratic side raising millions of dollars, right? We are not a big PAC. We haven't even raised $1 million yet. And we're able to get all of these creators essentially anywhere that Charlie is. And so that's what we really want the Democratic Party to do, is we want to have them to start investing in these movements.
Is the DNC supporting this?
No, not currently.
Why not?
If Ken Martin's watching this, text me back. But really, I mean, I think it's disappointing that we haven't been able to see the DNC really get off the ground since the election, because I think a lot of things have happened internally that have been distractions to the actual ground game that we need right now.
No, our motto is when they go low.
Based on what that woman is saying, isn't it analogous to them saying they need a Joe Rogan to the left, aka not understanding what the root of the problem is? Yes. I think she just wants to be that person for the Dems. The Democratic Party is so delusional that they won't even like throw a bone to people like that who want to be like, who are begging to be loyal servants of the Democrats. I'm saying that if the Dems also funded this operation, seemingly has decided to go with like an active pest with numerous court cases launched against them, who with regular frequency will say like insane like celebrating the deaths of, you know, the children of Trump voters in the natural disaster that took place, in the floods that took place in Texas, or, you know, white people's right to be able to say the N-word, or ethical child, like things like that are so insanely out of touch. Destiny is a demon of the internet. He cannot exist in the real world in this way. Those are all the things that he has done. And that's not even scratching the surface. This is before we talk about like his justifications and his unlimited support to Israel's genocide. Going to Israel with Eyal Yacobi, or was it Eyal Yacobi? I think it was. And mocking victims, or going to fucking Israel and telling the IDF, the Israeli occupying force soldiers, that they should just like, if they're going to do crimes, they should just like hide it, which is doubly ironic. There's a million different things.
We go high.
For Destiny, it's a ground game that must reflect the online culture he and millions of young Americans are part of, one that is often characterized by un-PC language, insults, and crude humor, like this tweet Destiny sent poking conservatives by saying the kids who died in the Texas flood were proof that God doesn't exist.
The tweets you sent about the kids in Texas would probably disqualify you, or would probably have somebody in the upper levels of the Democratic Party say, okay, we'll never work with this guy again.
Yeah.
Do you regret sending those tweets?
I think they have to get over it. I don't regret them. I love poking the bear on the right. I feel like Republicans are so good at owning the space. Republicans do this thing where they say, you know...
It is issues with jokes you've made. Yeah, that's the other side of the story, that he's just like so goddamn annoying with the whole, like, the guy who literally actively defends white people saying the N-word will like freak the fuck out because I said cracker, and then his stupid fucking audience will try to defend that principle as though it's like even remotely defensible. It is such whiny loser crybaby too. He literally constantly doxes people, points them to Kiwi Farms threads. He's disgusting. Yeah. He is the perfect defender of Israel in that regard. Very fucking conservative coded, very reactionary in general, very similar to like the entitled, arrogant behavior that you hear from Israel when they're like, why you not like Israel? We are killing babies. We are killing children, you say? Okay, those children are Hamas. You are anti-Semitic. We must deplatform. You are anti-Semitism. Like he basically does that. Yeah, like that's why you heard one of his fans be like, you called Mayor Pete a rat as like a big point of contention against me. Like as much as I entertain edgy humor, it's usually not against like defenseless children. You know what I mean? It's just not. The jokes that I have that are fucking edgy are the same type of jokes that like the right wingers get mad at, which is usually making fun of America as an institution, you know, making fun of the American government, making fun of dominant forces in American society. I'm punching up no matter how edgy it is. I'm not fucking punching down.
Comedy's legal again and we can joke about anything. But when I say anything, they really just mean like immigrants and black people, right? Because if you make fun of anything on their side, they lose their minds.
I guess is your point that, you know, always trying to take the high ground is clearly not working for Democrats?
One of the things that conservatives...
yeah. In order to be Republicans, we must become more racist.
Stumbled into accidentally, because I think Donald Trump's an idiot, even politically. But they stumbled into this thing where people started to get confused because of what the right and left looked like. And I think they think that you need an extremist platform in order to win elections. But what you really need, I think, is just extremist messaging. I think that's what you need.
Back inside, the packed event giving the Un-F America organisers hope there will be appetite for similar debates on college campuses this fall.
I do 100 hours of this a semester. 100 hours. In addition to 2 hours of podcasting radio. I mean, the physical crowds are now 4,000 people almost every time we do this.
And so the plan for this semester is Charlie Kirk shows up at campuses all across the country. And
before I started watching Twitch, all I heard of Destiny was that he's a liberal that likes to debate Republicans. Most normal people don't know how repulsive he is. Yeah. What he doesn't realize is when he gets into the spotlight a little too much and the light shines back at him even a little bit, like when he has to operate under the microscope that he's placed upon someone like myself, for example, when people find out about what he says all the fucking time and he can't help himself, that he basically wears like a badge of honor. Like no matter how edgy it gets, no matter how gross he gets, he in his own community is seen as like a beacon of truth and honesty whenever he gets like more edgy. But to the average person, that just comes across as like a repulsive freak. Yeah, another Destiny fan was arrested for child too. That's the other thing. It was really funny. I looked at the dude's Twitter and his last tweet was like retweeting something against me. This isn't getting enough attention. A close personal friend of Destiny was arrested for possession of over 300 files of child sexual abuse material. The culprit was a regular in Destiny's Discord and talks about ethical CP. I mean, it's not that crazy when you think about it. It's like expected. A huge part is also that in the process of being an edgy little shit, he's not funny at all. Like Nick Mullins says, watch it too, and it's fine because he's actually funny. Yeah. Yeah. Judge me by my enemies, boys. All my ops is pedophiles. I know a lot of people on here were mutuals with Jared Kelly, especially in the Destiny orbit. Well, he stopped posting a few months ago, and I get curious. Turns out he's a pedophile. His username on here is Blanco Flaco. The dude who debates the consumption of child porn stop pausing and use the N-word. Yikes. The argument is that CP should be distributed to pedos if this helps reduce child rapes. Are you pro-child rapes? Who's making the CP idiot? He explains very clearly in this video that the research said you could find people that were previously abused and get their consent to use their already existing material and offer them compensation for it. That's fucking insane. Stopping child rape is insane. This is the only way that this entire audience argues, by the way. Here, I'll give you an example. This is like saying the only way to stop child rape is by killing the children that were raped, okay? Just a fucking ridiculous claim. And then you say, I don't want the children who were raped to be killed. What the f? And then you turn around and go, oh, so you want child rape to continue. No, you just made a ridiculous argument. That doesn't mean... I think the second part of that is also good. Oh, I guess you don't want to stop child rape. The only way to do that is by allowing child rape to be fucking serialized and processed and sent to people. That's a ridiculous argument. And not only is it a ridiculous argument, but it's also like in the process of making this fucking ridiculous argument, you just come across as fucking insane. That is the method, though. That is how these motherfuckers always operate. Always. Using child porn, feeding into that disgusting market is insane. There are far better therapies to use instead of giving into their horrific abuses. And as a former child victim, no one is ever going to consent to it. It is the most traumatic shit a person can live through. Do you understand the concept of a hypothetical scenario? Couldn't even write hypothetical correctly. If distributing CP was effective in stopping, should it be done? The answer is obviously yes. Otherwise, you are pro monster. The question is, this is effective or not is removing the question. Why feed into some sicko's fantasy? You aren't curing them. If they're already in prison, they can't believe anyone. This is legit the most insane conversation I've ever had. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, this is a good way to analyze it too. Bro said, hypothetically speaking, if you eat your own shit, could you stop world hunger? Wouldn't you eat it? The answer should be yes. What are you, pro world hunger or something? When you are making a hypothetical, you have to at least make the analog work, okay? Like in a hypothetical scenario, you can't just like have something be just as violent or more abhorrent than the original fucking crime that you're trying to stop. Abstraction away from reality to such an extent that literally anything can be argued. Exactly. It's like Israel does this quite a bit. Israel defenders do this quite a bit when they're like, oh, wow, what if that baby had an RPG? What then? Shouldn't you kill the baby? What if the baby had a rocket launcher? Okay, what if the baby had a fucking nuke? Like, what are you talking about? I guess at that point, you could just say, like, a Palestinian child could have had a tactical nuke that it was about to fucking blow up in the heart of Tel Aviv, I guess. Yeah, his major own was, if you say the N-word in the vacuum of space alone right before you die, who does it harm? I got you. This is another one. I mean, we don't know if this... Oh, distribution debater is one of my reply guys. Yes. All of his community are my reply guys. Yes. This isn't the Sam guy. This is the debater. Remember when Ben Shapiro actually asked the question, if you say the N-word in the middle of nowhere to stop a nuke, would you do it to ChatGPT Lamau? Exactly. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is for a lot of debate lords, which Ben Shapiro is one of them.
You guys are going to be there too.
That's the goal. If we can raise enough money to get there, we absolutely will. People wonder why the youth vote shifted 9 points to the right.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why. He's put the footwork in and we haven't.
Yeah. A lot of these guys that, at least in my experience, and I'm not saying certainly every single person is like this, but a lot of these guys that entertain the realm of debate don't actually have any like real politics whatsoever and are just simply invested in the blood sport of it all. And they debate for the sake of winning an argument. And that's it. And nothing else. They don't have any like real politics. They don't have any real interest. Everything that they do that comes across as though they're like moving in a direction where they want to change politics is also just to defend their legitimacy in the debate sphere, right? Like even the canvassing operations and shit can be seen in that same exact way, where it's like, well, I did canvassing. Like I did my work. I did canvassing. You know, I set up a group to do canvassing for the Democratic Party. Like that in and of itself is so you can just simply slam that in. And it's kind of funny because, I mean, I've done canvassing as well. It doesn't really matter. A lot of his revenge came from his canvassing. Wait, really? Yeah, it's like saying you donated to a Palestinian charity over and over again to talk about your bona fides as a stalwart ally of the Palestinians while you're simultaneously engaging in efforts to deplatform every single fucking pro-Palestinian content creator and also consistently streamlining pro-Israeli propaganda.